Hello everyone and welcome to the Weekly Rewind presented by Attractions Magazine. This episode is for Sunday, December 4th, 2016. I am your host, Banks Lee. As always, we're going to take a look back at the past 7 days of our Twitter feed at Attractions. So let's get started. Last Sunday on November 27th, we were over at the Carnival Vista ship. This is the brand new ship in the Carnival Cruise line, and we were getting a tour of the new things that were available on the ship. This is a giant LED screen that starts on the 3rd floor and finishes on the 5th inside the ship. You can see more video from the ship on our YouTube channel and on this past week's episode of the show. November 28th, over at Disney Springs in the UGG shop, we found these Anna and Elsa boots for sale. They will run about $185 if you want some, but they do look very nice. November 29th, we were over at the Holiday Inn Resort Orlando Suites Water Park filming our show for last week. This is a look at the entrance to their 4D experience. Of course, you may remember this used to be the Nick Hotel, but now it is the Holiday Inn, and they still do have the 4D experience. And for the holidays, you can see the Polar Express 4D. That's new there at the resort. Be sure to watch this past week's episode of the show to find out a deal on how you can go and see the Polar Express and get some free parking at the hotel. November 30th, we were over at Legoland Florida Resort getting a construction tour of their new Legoland Beach Retreat Resort that is going to be opening up on April 7th of next year. You can see a video of the tour over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/attractionsmagazine. Also on November 30th, we share this photo from Disney's Hollywood Studios. The stage setup they have there usually for the Galaxy Far, Far Away show is gone. Right now it's just the open area and that one small stage area, but they do say that the show will return in the future. That night on November 30th, we're over at SeaWorld Orlando getting a look at their annual Christmas celebration for this year. New this year, they have Rudolph and his friends, Rudolph, Clarice, Yukon, Cornelius, and Bumble. You can see a look at this SeaWorld Christmas celebration on a future episode of the show. Moving on to December 2nd, we went over to Universal Orlando Resort to get a look at Grinchmas for this year. Here's a photo of the Grinch on this set of the Grinchmas Hula Day Spectacular. We got to interview him for the show. Moving over to the studio side of Universal, we were getting a look at some of the new elements for this year's Macy's Holiday Parade during the holidays at Universal Orlando. You can see that a giant Virginia balloon, brand new this year, and of course some of these smaller elements on the ground are also new this year. The Universal Orlando holidays are now running daily, so be sure to go over there and check it out and watch for our report on a future episode of the show. December 3rd, we're back over at that Holiday Inn Resort Orlando Suites Water Park. They have a North Pole pajama party every Saturday night during the holiday season. If you're staying there at the resort, you'll be able to go hear a telling of the Polar Express and then afterwards get to meet Santa Claus. So if you head over to Dave & Buster's on International Drive, you may find this life-size Rock'em Sock'em Robots game available to play. You see video of this game in action on our YouTube channel, and this is actually pretty neat. I've never been to Dave & Buster's, but I've always wanted to go. And finally, this week we found this on sale over at Walt Disney World. If you're looking for something to give to the Star Wars fan in your life for Christmas, how about this R2-H16 figure? And that brings us to last week on. This is where we take a look back at the past week of our original shows on YouTube to see what you may or may not have missed. So, without further ado, here is... And that's going to do it this week for the Weekly Rewind. As I talked about earlier in the show, be sure to tune in to last week's episode of the show to look around the new Carnival Vista ship, as well as the brand new Heroes and Legends exhibit featuring the Astronaut Hall of Fame over at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex. Until next week, guys, have fun. We'll see you later.